started, and we're joined in the NEA Baptist broadcast position by one of my best friends in the world, one of my oldest friends, my old college buddy, and that is the youth pastor at Harvest Baptist Church in Paragould, Arkansas. It's Packy Magel. Packy, thank you for joining me on the halftime show, man.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Packy came over to say hi to me, and I scripted into being the halftime guest. Now, as a youth pastor, I know you're involved in these kids' lives. What brings you out to Brooklyn tonight?
Yeah, we've got several students that go to Brooklyn, and Lindley Beavers is on the dance team, and J.T. Hilliard and Lauren Fritz, they're in the band, and Ashland Nursery. And we've got several students who are part of the Bearcat Nation over here, so we thought – Bryson and I thought we'd come over here and just see how they do it here.
I love it, man. Your son Bryson riding shotgun with you, and
absolutely
outstanding athlete in his own mind.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's already in the Legends Hall, in the 5th grade. So, anyway, doing well.
He's overcome a lot of bad paternal genetics stuff.
I promise you he has.
To be a
if
great
he's
athlete.
Athletic at all, man, it didn't come from my side.
Now, you played some ball at Greene County Tech. I know that you're like me. You believe, like the Beach Boys said, you should be true to your school.
Absolutely.
You love your school. You love Greene County Tech. That should make me and you enemies.
Yeah, but it really doesn't, man, because you've preached Nettleton to me for so long that really I've come to believe that Nettleton really is the greatest school ever.
Well, I've definitely tried for sure. I know you love your alma mater as well. You should.
Yes, sir.
You played some football back in the day for the Eagles, the Golden Eagles.
Played a little bit for Gene Weeks. He was the head coach over there, and I guess I'll give a mention to Todd Lovell, my offensive line coach, one of the hardest-nosed Newark products ever. He chicken farmer turned coach. And he treated us like a bunch of chickens in the house. Boy, he didn't put up with any malarkey from us.
Hey, what an influence coaches have on young men.
Oh, man, tremendous. One example that I'll give you right now is a couple of years ago, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks with COVID pneumonia. And when it came time for physical therapy, they got me up, and I really didn't want to walk anywhere. And I heard my coaches in my mind saying, "You just going to lay down, or are you going to get up?" And, in fact, after I got out of the hospital, I called them and said, "Thank you for teaching me about life through football."
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my son, who just graduated, I'll tell people this, and I told our football coaches this week. It's been a trying week for our coaches, and I tried to encourage them. I told them what my son learned in this football program has been more valuable to him than any class that he took.
Absolutely.
And that's not taken away from any of the teachers. They do a good job, but there's something about a football coach who hollers at you, kicks you in the rear end when you need your rear end kick. I mean, that has a big impact on young people.
Oh, absolutely. I played all the sports, but football is unique in the way it's played and in the way it's a team sport, but it really does emulate life in a lot of ways. And you end up on the ground sometimes when you don't want to get up. And you have to. You just have to get up, and you have to keep on marching, and when you don't want to. And so those coaches always preach to us, football is like life, football is like life. And I don't know if we believed it back then, but I'm a believer now.
No doubt about it. I know one man that you and I both have a great deal of respect and reverence for is the late evangelist Billy Graham. Mm-hmm. And I heard him say one time about coaches in general, he said a coach will have more impact on people in one season than most people will have in their entire lives.
That's absolutely true. My coaches did so many things that instilled character in me that I couldn't say thank you enough to them.
Yeah, so many times the coaches, they take daggers, man. They take barbs, and there's a reason why they don't stay in it very long. They find something else to do. So if you're listening to us out there, the coaches in your life, give them some encouragement. An encouraging word could go a long way for sure. Our halftime guest is Packy Magel. He's the youth pastor at Harvest Baptist Church in Paragould, Arkansas. Now, you guys have recently relocated a couple of times, actually. Walk us through that. Give us a little bit of the history of the Harvest Baptist Church and where y'all are at right now.
Okay, so our church is a church that's over 100 years old, and we, back in 2000, bought a piece of property out on the south side of town, nearly right across from Greene County Tech's high school. And we did that with a vision of one day maybe relocating out there or doing some kind of a ministry, placing maybe a church plant or something out there. We just didn't know what the Lord was calling us to. And a handful of years ago, it just started – the snowball started rolling a little bit, and we really sensed the Lord's voice and knew that it was time to move. And he had made that clear in a variety of ways. And so we hadn't even put the church up on the east side of town where we were located. We hadn't even put it up for sale yet. And there was some conversations that happened in a bus barn at the high school and then in an elementary classroom. And before we knew it, we were selling the church. for much more than we expected to get. And so the Lord was faithful there. The church that bought it from us said, hey, we'll let you use our former facility so you can have a place to worship. So we relocated to the west side of town. So east side on the west side is what we were for a couple of years while we cast vision and raised money and did all that we were doing. And the Lord even mysteriously brought Dr. Stan Norman from Williams Baptist University to sort of lead the charge, and he was very savvy in how to make major change. And so he placed him just at the right time, and so we spent a couple of years there doing what we did, and then the door opened, and we started building. And so we've been in our new location for a couple of years now, and it's really amazing what the Lord's doing. Moved with about 330 people. We now average around 700 people. So,
awesome.
Lord, and we've just been seeing people baptized and discipled, and God's been faithful, man. That's all I can say. He's been faithful. None of the people on staff, including myself, are that smart. So He's provided.
Yeah, there's one thing goes for me and you and everybody that we lay eyes on. People need the Lord.
That's right.
No doubt about that.
That's exactly right.
So thankful that Harvest Baptist Church is reaching people in Paragould, not just people in Paragould, but also people, obviously, like your students at Brooklyn here tonight.
Oh, it's really crazy. We've got kids at Riverside, Walnut Ridge. So the Lord's just sort of given us a regional impact, which is something we dreamed about, but didn't know if that would ever come to fruition in our time, and it has. It has. God's done something great.
That's awesome. This is Packy Magel. He's a youth pastor at Harvest Baptist Church in Paragould, Arkansas. The score at half is 14-13. Nettleton up by 1. Now, Packy, I know the numbers. I served in student ministry myself for years and years. I know the numbers. The last time I looked, the average tenure for a youth pastor at a Southern Baptist church is right about 18 months.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's changed since I have got out of the
maybe
game.
even a little less these days, but 18 months is probably a good number, yeah.
And how long have you been the youth pastor at Harvest Baptist?
Yeah, come November, it'll be 23 years.
23 years. That's phenomenal, man.
Long time, yeah.
That is phenomenal. What I know, obviously, you give glory to God, you give credit to Him, but what do you think has allowed you to stay in the game that long?
I think just continuing to pray and love and adjust to the times, reinvent at times. But I really think the key to for any pastor is to stay fresh, is to stay in that prayer closet and be asking the Lord, what do I do next? What do I do next? And trusting Him with that, and just continuing to work with people and be kind to people, gentle with people. I think that has probably served me well over the years, and also just being committed to this group of folks that I serve. There have been plenty of times when the environment was less than ideal, which happens anytime there are people around. But I just decided, the Lord called me to this place, and it was clear when He did, He'd have to make it just that clear when it's time for me to move on. So I've just been committed to this group through the good times and bad times, and I think that's made a difference.
I love it. That's Packy Magel, the youth pastor at Harvest Baptist Church in Paragould, Arkansas. He is the surprise guest for our halftime show. Cavenaugh.
It was a surprise to me.
That's right. He came up to say hey to his old buddy, and little did he know that he would be grabbed a hold of. Packy, I appreciate it. I mean it when I say you're one of the best friends I've ever had, and I will always say that. And if I was to die tonight, I would want you to be the man who preaches the gospel at my funeral. I will tell you that. That's how highly I think of you.
Well, I think the same of you, but I'm not sure you want me, man. There's no telling what I might say about you. I've got plenty of stories.
I'll be gone. I won't be able to you won't get under my skin at all, man.
I got you. That's right.
No debate. Thanks for joining me, my friend. And you and Bryson, love you too, bud. You and Bryson enjoy the rest of the game, and hopefully, I know you got some kids in youth group in the Brooklyn, but hopefully the Raiders will escape with a win tonight.
Hey, we're looking for a good game no matter which way it goes.
That's a youth minister answer.
Absolutely.
Right there. That's Packy Magel. He's been my guest. I tell you what we'll do. We'll take a 2-minute break.